Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Everybody, go to assholeconsulting.com if you got questions or need some kind of consultation, guidance, leadership, or you just want a video on a certain topic put up. I'll do it as long as you pay. To Aaron, I was having a conversation a while ago with someone regarding homosexuality. He had mentioned that people are born with certain sexualities, for instance, one person being born straight, another person being born gay, that was in their genetic programming. I then asked about a few different things such as preferences in certain types of people, food, or people's behaviors, such as some people being psychopaths. He explained that to a large extent people choose who they like, what they like to eat, or what behaviors, even if it leads to psychiatric disorders, they choose to express. I asked whether he could tell if certain things were genetic or choice and how he knew. An example being if a person commits a crime, he does so because he chooses to, or they had some genetic component willing to compel him to risky behavior such as committing a crime. Could you give me your perspective on people operating on genetics as opposed to choice and behavior, as well as how one could distinguish which a person is operating on? All right. Let's answer that last question. It takes investigation, it takes a neurologist, and it takes a psychiatrist or psychologist to determine whether somebody is like committing a crime, whether they're conscious about it and they're evil, or they just cannot help themselves and they have a genuine psychological disorder. And that is the difference between throwing someone in jail and throwing someone in the insane asylum. But you can't tell. I mean, I have no particular expertise in the area, so I'd have to defer to an authority. But it's important that you determine whether or not someone's doing that consciously or because they're compelled to because of psychology. I personally believe, as Americans and Westerners and people just get more and more lazy and come up with every excuse possible, most people are lazy and conscious of it. Most people are just scum. There's a reason I'm a misanthrope, is because most humans are worth of hating. They're not the anyone special. No, for the most part, most humans are assholes. They really are. Not a cool asshole like me, like genuine, disgusting assholes who will fuck over their mother to make some money. And then they cowardly, how many times, I would plea by insanity, innocent by insanity. I mean, how many times do you hear that? This doesn't mean it doesn't happen. There are definitely some psycho people out there. They, quote, can't control it. They hear the voices in their heads. But there's a lot of posers who know damn well what they're doing, and then, like, cowards once they get caught going. I mean, like, my favorite is somebody, be it some flamboyant rap star or basketball player, and they're running around with chains and dreads and stupid ass shit, and then they go to jail, and wow, now they're in a suit and a tie. It's like, oh, fuck you. I mean, come on, stand by it. Go to court in your fucking getup like you did before. So I really do believe it is a very rare instance where people can't control it. Now, as for homosexuality and food versus other type of preferences and behaviors, that really boils down to whether it's not a moral issue, it's one of empathy. So, for example, being gay requires no empathy because it does not, if I choose to be gay, that does not affect other people. If I genetically have a predisposition to like broccoli, whereas some people taste it and like, oh God, I can't handle it. Again, that no one's dying or being hurt because of that. And another perfect example, even though this has nothing to do with the choice or preference, or even taste, asparagus. For some reason, people, not to be crass, but if you eat asparagus, there's a percentage of the population that when they urinate later, it smells like sulfur. And I probably am one of those people. I'm like, what the hell? Then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, there's like a certain percentage. Again, I didn't choose this, but ain't nobody dying because my piss smells like sulfur after I eat asparagus. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, as long as you're not affecting or hurting other people, then no harm, no foul. And it's genetic. Like, what, are you going to go round up people and kill them because they like asparagus? I mean, it's the same. However, when you commit crime, Well, now that affects other people. And then this gets back to the original debate of whether it was on purpose or were they really compelled by voices in their heads. So that's the drawing line. So it's one thing where your genetic programming is food, your sexual partners, whether you like dogs or not, allergies. Okay, no one's getting hurt with that. Once you start committing crime, though, however, that's where other people got to come in and involved because other people are being affected. But once again, to reiterate, I'm sorry. I've lived 40 years. Not that I'm some old man, but I'm old enough now not to sit there as a naive 20-year-old. Well, yeah, I guess you are right. Then maybe I'm just a very close-minded person. No, most people are faking it. I'll point it out again. The people, I got ADD, I got ADHD. The fuck you do. What you got bad teachers. I'll grant you that. You got boring-ass fucking teachers, and no wonder everyone has attention deficit disorder. How could you pay attention to that bullshit? Some 25-year-old moron droning on reading from the book. I got that. But right now, the larger social psychological problem is people running to get some kind of psychological disorder so they can claim victim status and get more government money or pity. Or excuse their own piss poor performance. So that's where I believe that most of it. If it was me, my standard for pleading insanity would be much higher. Am I an expert in that field? No. They do have standards. The psychological profession has these standards. You could look those up. But as long as you're not hurting anybody else, yeah, this is why I don't care. I'm fine. I'm cool with homosexuals. I'm okay with Bruce Jenner cutting off his dick or whatever the hell he did. I don't really care. I'm happy for him. As long as if he looks happier than he was, he's happy. Okay, good. Did he hurt anyone? No. But yeah, when it comes to crime, it really is simply, do you know what you're doing? Or are you really got a psychological problem? You're genetically programmed to kill other people. And if that's the case, it's, again, the difference between jail and an insane asylum. You don't want me as a judge. You really don't. I really do. It's not that I hate people. It's just they've proven me that they do deserve such distrust and hate. I just really do it. Anyway, hope that answered your question. Best of luck. Toodles.